Baraka of the whole Lama for a shame land. It's not just a game. Come on.
Don't touch the dial. 98.3 FM. Don't touch the dial.
In your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. It's here.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Hey, Papa Solo, abeg come. Wetin be dis cholera wey dey talk?
Na so me sef hear am o.
I hear say Lagos state government talk say no be only vomit o. Even if you dey go toilet wey dey call diarrhea, that one sef na another symptom o. So aside from vomiting, if you dey go toilet and if you get fever, your body dey hot, na wetin Lagos state government talk o say be the symptoms o.
Make me sef just go ask my children whether dem sef dey get headache or whether dem get body temperature. Make me sef carry dem go hospital. Abeg o, no use cholera play o.
See make sure say the water wey you drink e dey clean. Your environment, you clean am well.
Abeg, try to wash your hand anytime when you use your toilet and before you chop. Clean your hand well o. This message na from Mainland 98.3 FM. Cholera disease e real o.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, we understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home, that you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from Mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
Airwaves in your market become more and more crowded. It's time to break it open and really stand out. Broken Air is here.
On Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Critical conversations in the political, economic, and social space has become extremely important.
There's a need for a lot of people, not even the political party, those in the civil society, those who believe in Nigerian emancipation of people from the shackle of poverty.
More than ever before, Nigerians now deserve to be heard. We all need a voice.
Nigeria of nowadays, we are suffering. People come on Gari, we can't buy Gari again. Gari has come as a cocaine. Food we can't buy, rice we can't buy, we can't meet our.
Join Sahid Fuad every Thursday, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. on Mainland 98.3 FM to lend your voice and speak to the real issues affecting the Nigerian state. Open Forum. Your time to talk is now.
course, it's a beautiful afternoon to you wherever you are listening to the mainland 98.3 FM. This is the Open Forum program where we get to give you all the trending stories that perhaps you might have come across the week, as it were, and also going into other conversations that really make the round. And trust it's going to be an interesting time right here. My name is Victor Achibong. Yes, I'm pretty sure a lot of you might be surprised, wondering where is Omobala Sandra. Okay, she's a bit down the weather right now, so you might not be getting to hear her voice today, but not to worry. We are still here to have the conversation because there's so much on the table for us to discuss this beautiful afternoon. We normally do this every Thursday from 1 to 3 p.m. And you know what? It is not just we here in the studio. We also get to give you the opportunity to be a part of the conversation as regards any story of interest to you. You probably didn't have the opportunity of talking about it. This is that platform where you get to do. And don't forget also, during the breakfast show with Sage Babalola and of course Said Fuad on the Open Mic Forum, you could have also had one or two things to say, but you couldn't. Now this is that platform, an open forum where you can come on board and have the conversation. So once again, I want to welcome you all and trust that your Thursday is going on very, very well. It has been for me, and I'm looking forward to more interesting things and interesting times to happen. What gladdens my heart the most is that I get to see Nigerians with so much passion and enthusiasm talking about the state of the nation, just like when I experienced one yesterday. I can tell you that for 45 minutes to 1 hour, it was back-to-back conversation of passengers who boarded the bus all the way to their destination, and it didn't stop because as they were exiting the bus, the conversation still continues. So it gladdened my heart to see that people are truly keyed and tied to the state of this nation. But then most of them are not happy. They are not happy with the situation of things. They are not happy, especially with the hardship in the land. They are not happy with the economic situation. They are not happy of the fact that yes, there's not enough money for them to buy those basic things that they want. Actually, they do call it they call it basic necessities of life. But these days, most of these basic ones are not looking like luxuries, and only the few or a few in our nation are the ones who are actually enjoying these basic ones that have transcended itself into luxury. I welcome you once again to Open Forum, and as usual, we have our in-house analyst, yes, Otumba Kenny, who is pretty much available. Anytime from now, I'm going to definitely open the mic for Otumba to have his own conversation, because as always, he's here to analyze some of the issues before we open the phone lines for you to also have your own discussion. Well, what do we have on the table? Yes, we're going to have a conversation around APC kicking against PDP, backing call for Goodluck Ebele Jonathan as president for 2027. We're also going to dive into the conversation of the alleged terrorism financing. The NLC has decided not to be quiet over this particular situation, and they are talking tough should anything happen to their comrade, the president, Joe Ajaero. And as well, we are going to dive into the conversation of the presidential jets. Don't forget that the president just launched the new presidential jets, the Boeing A330, and is in France as we speak, the fourth trip to France, and the 23rd so far since he became president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. We're going to have a conversation around that, because I can tell you for free, there is so much backlash coming from left, right, and center as regards that. And not only on that, but other conversations will ensue as we proceed. And the crisis in the oil sector still lingers. Currently in Nigeria, so many persons are wondering what is happening to our nation. Why are we not having fuel? We are an oil producing nation, and yet we don't have fuel. People are queuing from morning to night. Some are even sleeping at the filling station, and some will be there for hours. They have to call their bosses at the place of work, that place, I'm going to be running late, or perhaps I'm not even going to be in the office today because I've been unable to get fuel. Businesses are closing down, shops, and name it, do not even have what to do anymore because they don't have power. And in the other hand, where they're supposed to have power being generated by discos, it is erratic. Well, we're going to be talking about that as well, because Ipman right now is out saying that they are putting the blame on NNPCL. And NNPCL, are they taking the blame? Are they accepting the responsibility? We're going to have that conversation as well, and many more. Custom spot rate is also in the conversation. Of course, as we do know, the foreign exchange in terms of the rate has shifted 100 times in 2024. I mean, how did we get ourselves into that particular position where the spike in prices has risen to 120%? We are also going to have that conversation as we have the discussion on Open Forum. It's 10 minutes past 1 p.m. The program is Open Forum. My name is Victor Achibong, and I want you to sit back there, relax, and let's just go on a very, very short break. When we return, we're going to have a tumba on the conversation, and don't forget, it is Open Forum.
Open defecation in Nigeria perpetuates a cycle of poor health, environmental degradation, and undermines human dignity. With approximately 47 million people practicing open defecation nationwide, Nigeria ranks among the top countries globally, with the highest number of individuals who lack access to proper sanitation facilities. The stats look grim. The overriding effect in itself can be terrible to our general well-being. In that light, we from Mainland 98.3 FM call on the government to increase its efforts in providing public toilets to end this scourge. And we also encourage the citizenry to imbibe proper hygiene and not defecate in public.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were to gain?
Attention everyone, this is an important message about cholera.
Cholera is a serious disease, but we can stop it together.
Remember to always drink clean, safe water. Boil or treat your water before drinking. Wash your hands with soap and clean water, especially before eating and after using the toilet.
Cook your food thoroughly and eat it while it is hot.
Keep your surroundings clean and dispose of waste properly. If you or anyone you know shows symptoms like severe diarrhea or vomiting, seek medical help immediately.
Together, we can beat cholera and keep our community healthy.
This message is brought to you by Mainland 98.3 FM, Lagos. Stay safe, stay healthy.
Yes, I'm glad to know that you are still pretty much there. And of course, this is Open Forum on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos, where we get to have conversation around much of the trending stories that made Kenny once again. And he is very much here. Good afternoon, Otumba.
Good afternoon. It's always my pleasure to be with you on Open Forum. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Otumba. I'm having conversation around, nation building. You had to dash down first to the studio before getting to your home. I just wanted to ask, why you were driving
in Remo, which people call Ijebu, but we've separated ourselves from Ijebu from Remo. So
okay,
and it has been a very terrible case. And there's fuel, but it has a cutthroat price. Fuel goes in Shagamu for over 900 naira. 900, 950 for you to get for.
Wow.
I mean, you can afford such. Quite a lot of people, it's only, and you have to go through a long queue. So, if you don't want to go through a long queue, 1 liter of fuel is going for 1,002 now. Because if you want to stay by the roadside, for people who walk, they're going to pay. It's precarious, it's an aberration. It shows that we're now a failed state. Thy functionality, then it's precarious.
Right. Thank you very much for that, Otumba. We're definitely going to have a conversation around that as well, because it's part of what we have here on our menu. Now, let's go straight to the discourse for the day. We have a lot here. Don't forget, listeners, you are also part of it. You are already a family, so welcome to be a part of it, to react to any of the stories, and as well, by extension, your own story. We are also streaming live on our Facebook platform, so do well to go there and watch us live as well. Drop a comment, okay? It's we have different or several platforms or avenue where we can pick your comments, read your stories, and even take your calls as well. On calls, definitely you will have to call 09136 0000410, and if it has to be on text message or WhatsApp, you do call or send that message to 09136 0000430. That's for text message and WhatsApp. But until then, let's look at what we have on our first menu here. It is no news. It is no news that there is this call that is making the round. In fact, it is so serious that it is giving serious concern to the opposition party. Because right now the opposition is the one talking, but the ruling party is now appearing as the opposition party, trying to counter what the opposition party PDP is saying. And what is the PDP saying as regards this story here? From what we gathered here, it is said that the APC has kicked against a call by PDP seeking that some president or former president Ebele Goodluck Jonathan, or Goodluck Ebele Jonathan, whichever way they want to put it or you want to put it, should come back as president, of course, to do his second term. And if I probably will read this here now, it says the opposition People's Democratic Party has thrown its weight behind the call for former President Goodluck Jonathan to join the presidential race for 2027. In the past few weeks, there has been a growing rumor that northern elites, which is where we are taking part of the conversation from now, the northern elites and politicians are not happy with President Bola Tinubu's administration and subtly yearning for a change of government in the next election. Now, for days now, Bauchi State Governor Senator Bala Muhammad also lends his voice to the agitation, vowing to jettison his presidential ambition if Jonathan agrees to contest. Muhammad gave his blessing at the event organized by a non-governmental organization, Saves Africa Initiative in Abuja. Now, while he made that statement, the reactions first came from the Deputy National Publicity Secretary of the PDP, Ibrahim Abdullahi. He said that the positions of Bauchi State Governor Muhammad Bala and the northern elites resonates with the opposition party. Otumba Kenny, we are talking about a president who once upon a time was a president, and some person said that he became president by chance. Some said he became president by accident, but whichever way they want to describe it, he was one time a president in Nigeria for 6 years, acting president from 2010 to 2011, and when an election came in 2011, he won and became the president, and there we saw him in office. And as it stands right now, there is a call for him to come back, and that is because coming from the northern elites, coming from the governor of Bauchi State, Bala Mohammed, he said he is not going to be interested anymore. He would jettison his ambition, his crave to become a president if Goodluck Jonathan shows interest of becoming president come 2027. Otumba, let me ask, in this regard, what is your thoughts?
Thank you very much. My thought in simple terms, I can describe Nigeria from 1999 to date, political dispensation, as a rickety car. Listen to one, as a rickety car with adulterated oil, with unstable brain box, and the driver is driving us to oblivion, moving through litany of all effort. I don't want to use a harsh language. Suffice to say now that we have not been blessed by leaders who are patriotic. We have not been blessed by leaders that have right locus.
Are you talking about in recent times or ever since
1999 till date?
To date, okay.
We have not been, we said uninterrupted political leaders. I'm describing them, that we have not been blessed by patriotic leaders who have the right locus, understanding, and the people's interest. That is, people's interest in their perspective. We have had quite a lot of dynamics from one administration to the other. Some have posted to have been able to select the best brain in this world, but they have their own weakness. Some don't select the best brain in this world, financial recklessness. Those are the ones. Some up today, they are characterized by extreme weakness in decision-making process. I'm trying to describe the administration. Some, they posted the fact that yes, they will create a paradigm shift. That is the position they've taken. That's the last administration. But what will we end up? We ended up with nepotism, financial recklessness, and in the new dispensation, the litany still continue. Arrogance, pride. So that gives a characteristic description of the kind of what we've sent so far. That suffices to say our political leaders are only self-centered, greedy, self-conscious, arrogant, pride, strongly capitalistic, and after self-interest and interest of their foes. Now, what it tells me clearly now that our political leaders do not prioritize interest, public interest. We are basically talking of hunger and anger. We are talking of Nigeria moving towards bankruptcy. We are talking of audacious policy that is repulsive and reactionary. We are talking of high level of profligacy. And we are now bringing in somebody that was naturally weak in decision making. The Zani saga is a typical example. Nigerians have not been blessed with leaders who are leaders by example. Nigerians have not been blessed with leaders who are thinker and a thought leader. Some have their thinking, but they don't have thought to back it up. You will see now that there hadn't been any continuity in the succession plan. It's all dragging Nigeria to a point of oblivion. And the recklessness we are talking about actually teed off manipulation, impunity in form of third-term agenda. What this administration is going through is a cumulative effect of the kind of impunity, lackadaisical attitude. Nigeria for one, and for us all. Nigeria doesn't belong to anyone. Nigeria doesn't belong to all. So Nigeria is treated as a riketika. That is exactly. So what it means is that the political leaders are not interested. They don't have their interest is not nationalistic.
Okay.
It is self-interest. It is party affiliation. Party is just like SPV. People are not conscious of party. They are not even conscious of what they deliver. Delivery mechanism. They are not even conscious of who will create a paradigm shift. They are not even conscious who will set a path for us to get to El Dorado. They are basically talking of people who have demonstrated high-tech weakness.
Talking about someone who's going to take us on the path to El Dorado. According to the northern elites here, they said they need a shift in government, and so the consideration for Goodluck Jonathan to come out and run for presidency. Now from what they said, that was one of the best times Nigerians enjoyed any president. Don't forget, during his era as well, according to what they said, he put us there on the international map. We had one of the best economies so far, and we were not buying fuel at the amount we are buying today, even though there was an attempt to remove subsidy, which was kicked against by the current administration, who happens to be the president, and so many other reasons in the agricultural reform, the Marjorie education, talk about the health care. I mean, these are some of the factors they put into consideration and said, who should we turn to? Let's go back to Goodluck Jonathan.
Thank you very much. All those things you've listed, if you follow it by key indicator, you judge. You see, there are people who do perception. People do perception, but they don't do by going through analysis, by looking at key performance indicators. Look, let me tell you, when a government fulfills not have practiced what we call oligarchy approach, hegemonic oligarchy tendency. Basically, Jonathan government was run by the North. So if Jonathan comes on the board, there is a Northern is still there. Let truth be told, it is true. The crack in the wall started a long time, but we are now beginning to see the more crack now. Nigeria is going to bankruptcy. Let the truth be told. It is true we might appear to be getting things okay, but we're not facing reality. We are just on cost run analysis. You know, when you run a nation on cost run, including cost, just balancing and robbing Peter to pay Paul, there's no plan for future. There's no plan for development. Tell me meaningful development that happened in that era. Yes, we are all buying Peter to pay. And two, what really happened, what causes administration is the cumulated effect of what happened. Even though I have one or two things against the administration, what really caused us the problem was the ways and means that Buhari administration took. Securitizing 30 trillion. Is that a joke? That is a problem. But the question is this: if they are sincere, is not to castigate a government like that. Let's look at the root cause analysis that brought it to them to a bill. The government, this administration inherited $77 billion. This administration, as of today, they have been probing 33 trillion. Ways and means, securitizing over 30 trillion. Why didn't they, as at the time they were financial recklessness in the last 8 years, there were no complaint. Why did they think of changing hand at that time?
But this administration also said that if it gets into office, it will tackle all of these issues and make Nigeria better. That was why they promised Nigeria renewed hope.
I agree with you, but that is marketing concept. There's nobody that wants to come government that will not. That's why when you say Nigerian prosperous, I just laugh. I laugh because they have more. The question is, if this present government has come up with the real truth, unravel the mystery, they created a donut effect around what happened. Last administration put Nigeria on a path of bankruptcy. Let the truth be told. And the idea from it started from 1999 to date. It is a question of paying Peter to pay Paul. We rebase our revenue. We're able to have debt forgiveness. But what really happened? 16 billion went down gaga as for NEPA, for power. Did they account for it? During the administration we are talking about cumulatively, when you have a handover administration to the other, power as of today, $13 billion had been expended in those, because it was a handover PDP administration. Did they account for it? What happened? Why is it that we don't have power?
So the PDP ruled this country for 16 years, Otumba. What do you think that even if they have the opportunity now, they will do different from what they couldn't do 16 years ago?
The question is this: can a house that is divided against step stand? That's the question.
All right, let's have your conversation as well. Let's have your thoughts on this conversation.
It's about the genuineness of leadership, but the political class have not been genuine in their thought. They're self-centered. It's only party affiliation they're talking about.
All right, Otumba, let's open the phone line so that our listeners can also be a part of the conversation. Like I did say, on Open Forum, you have the liberty to talk on any of the issues that we bring before you. Can also talk about your own thought, your own view, or any story of concern to you. The number is 09136 0000410. Please stay on 2 minutes, okay, for everyone talking, so that we can take as many calls as possible. Okay, we have a first caller here. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Victor.
Thank you very much. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yes, I will tell you my name, John. I greet Otumba. My regard to Stranda, the Lord will give her a perfect seed in Jesus' name.
Amen.
Yes. This is Ufoma from Agoda Shade. I'm not confused with the question you're asking us about. This is the question I asked your side for us, and it does the question. Thank God that you also brought it again. Simple question, Mr. So I like your analysis. I also like the way the Victor asked you when you are returning, how was the situation on the road? People buy fuel at 1,000 naira, 950, sometimes 1,002. It's not friendly at all, meaning that we still have the wrong people in power. And as you also said that we are not be blessed with a good leader, 100% agree with you. But can you just help me that prevention that the people are putting for Jonathan? Yes, we saw all the lapses he made, truly when he was really not. But let's just give him a matter of the prevention that even though the Bashir government in 2023 he also pushed for, say, he will not contest if Jonathan is still alive, and he came back again this week again. In a matter of that, what chance can you give that prevention Jonathan decides to run? What are you going to advise him to do? What are you not going to advise him not to do? Right. And when you also help me, Otumba, please, who is the Minister of Petroleum? These are two questions I asked yesterday.
You keep asking this question, Thank you very much.
Yes. Thank you. Let me be very honest and frank. First thing I will ask him to do is to exercise what we call financial discipline. There had to be a due diligence on the root cause of over 33 trillion.
Otumba, hold that thought, please. Hello, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
You're welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon to the gentleman in the studio.
Good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from, please?
Yeah, this is Mazi Akajaja. I'm calling from Okota.
Mazi Akajaja.
Yeah, Akajaja.
All right.
I'm calling from Okota.
You're welcome, please.
Please, I want to speak on the issue of bringing Jonathan back to contest.
You have the floor.
It is high time we start telling ourselves the truth. This system, are we running a democratic government, or we are running a recycling system of government? Does it mean that we don't have a sound educated people to run this system? Does it mean that we don't have a professors who can handle our system soundly? Let me start from Obasanjo. Obasanjo ruled us in 1978. Am I lying? He came back again as a democracy. Does it make the system good? Buhari ruled us in 1984. He came back again in 2015. Does it make us good? Every day Nigeria is going back. Now they are talking about the good of Jonathan. This good of Jonathan they are shouting now. Is he the one that will keep on crying every day? That he have Boko Haram in the cabinet and he could not do anything. He could not buy the Boko Haram when the Boko Haram was starting with one leg. Is it not that they are starting with two legs and they will fight them? It is right that we tell ourselves the truth. The problem we have is that let INEC give us the Nigerian mandate. Let them give us a free and fair election. Let us have a new bread. Who can change this in Nigeria? That's my submission this afternoon. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you, Mazi Kajaja. We appreciate you for your contribution there. And yes, you can also be a part of the conversation on 09136 000 410. Remember to keep it within 2 minutes as you react to the conversation. Hello, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Yes, please. The name and where you're calling from?
This is Williams from Festac.
Williams from Festac. You're welcome, Williams. Your thoughts?
Thank you. The people that is calling for Jonathan to come back, coming back to do what? Jonathan have the presidency on his farm, and he was sleeping. Tinubu and Buhari came and collected it from his hand. It's now that it's out of Fato Rock that we win the election. It's not possible now. Jonathan was a very weak president, very weak. So all these people that is praising him that he considered defeat, and so what? He was very weak because he allowed them to push him around, toss him around. When he appointed him Jericho as chief of army staff, he saw how the man dealt with Boko Haram. But he was pressured to drop the man. And he did that, he dropped him. So what is he coming back to do? To do what? After Tinubu should do his 8 years. According to them, they have an agreement. Nobody is going to remove Tinubu. I have told people who care to listen that 2027 election has already been written. The result has been written. So by that time, they will just read it out and give us. Tinubu won election when he was not in Aso Rock. If you know that it's Aso Rock, he has removed him. I beg, that one will not happen. So we just endure. They say when Buhari comes, Buhari is going to solve Nigeria problem. He has done his 8 years. Nigeria is still remain where they are today. Tinubu will do his 8 years and go. So maybe that time we'll look for the measure that's going to
thank you very much.
Nigeria.
Let me quickly address the question in the same before we have another call.
Okay.
First, The first thing he needs to do is to first look at what we call lean approach to management. Nigeria is in quagmire, so he cannot be looking at the bolted structure that we're working on. I mean, he cannot be thinking of the ongoing proliferation that we have, that we created 50 ministers, that the expenditure of the framework does not match with our critical need.
All right.
That's first one.
Hello. Yes, please. Otumba, take the second one. Hello.
Hello, yeah, good evening, Victor.
Yeah, good afternoon to you. Your name and where you're calling from?
Badmus on the line.
Badmus?
Yeah.
Okay, from where?
And Otumba, yeah, good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
You see, we need to be honest with ourselves. Check it back. When Jonathan was there, economically, politically, socially, check it. Economically, yes, he inherited a very good, let me say, a good economy. At that time, he had oil boom. Then who are the people that control the oil boom, the profit, the revenue generated from the oil boom? The northerners were the beneficiary. Why would they want him to come back when they know how to manipulate him? In my own way, I believe they have his manual. Because in the south, if you check the election that brought Jonathan in, he won the election through the platform of the south, southeast, southwest. Very few from the north. But at the end of the day, he served the northerners. Politically, Jonathan is very weak. The experience at that time was not much. Maybe by now he must have gained one more experience. But look at the time of Chibok. What did he do? He did not even believe. Look at his wife. You know, if you just put sum everything together, they should allow the man to rest and enjoy his pension. That's my submission. They should allow the man to rest and enjoy his pension. By 2027, God will see us through. Another leader will come. And if it is the same Tinubu, no problem. But for Jonathan, to me, no. They should just allow the man to rest.
Thank you very much. Hello. Hello. Yeah, good afternoon.
Hey, Victor, good afternoon.
Yes, please, good afternoon.
Otumba, good afternoon, sir. My name is Don Peters. I'm calling from Nɪḷᴇ.
All right, Don Peters, you're welcome.
Yes, I would like to speak on this Jonathan coming back. Victor, even you yourself for your church mind, wouldn't you allow Jonathan to come back?
How do you know what's on my church mind, Don Peter?
I'm only asking you because wait, so this is a man, when he was the president, Nigeria happens to be the fastest growing economy in the world. That is number one. Number two, Nigeria happens to be a choice destination for investors, both local and foreign. We buy a bag of rice as at that time when Jonathan was the president for 6,000 naira. A bag of cement for 750 naira. This is a man who knows that you cannot defeat an ideology with a barrel of gun. We are talking about Boko Haram. He set up Alamajiri education for them. So start erasing that radicalization in their head with education. This is a man who knows that you cannot defeat corruption, okay, with media trial. He set up institutions like BVN and the rest of other things. He was setting up institutions to fight corruption. This is a man, when he was the president, education happens to be the priority. We are not having north and southern dichotomy. In the name of this is a Yoruba man, Igbo man, and Hausa man. Every Nigerian see themselves as one. Not until we have this in our hands. If Jonathan should come back for me, my brother, I will welcome him with open arms. If he happens to be the one that will put us back where we are. Because as a matter of fact, what we are having in our hands right now is not governance.
All right.
Anybody who is saying that if we are going to allow God to see us through, please, Victor, 1 minute. Let me tell us something. Isn't the apostles of Jesus Christ, when they are looking for the replacement of Judas, they have to cast a ballot? Okay? God do not see them through in that very situation. they cast a ballot and choose somebody for themselves. It is us as people that will choose our leader. God will not give us a leader. Okay? Until He has given us an institution. When the call calls for us to choose our leaders, God is not going to come. We have to cast a ballot, which is what they did at that time. So all this, God will do it, God will do it. God has given us wisdom to do it. Okay?
Thank you very much, Don Peters.
Coming back is okay by me.
Thank you very much. Thank you. I appreciate your call as well. All right. Thank you so much, Don Peters. We need to go on a very first break, and then when we return, we're going to have another conversation, a different one entirely. Now, but don't worry, you can still talk about the APC, PDP, drama. It's always a drama that has been there for 25 years, and we wonder when it's going to end. Don't worry, just stay with us, people. Don't go nowhere. Otumba is still pretty much here. I am still here, and of course, you are also there. The program is Open Forum, and it is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. We'll be right back.
Follow us on all our social media platforms on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Mainland 98.3 FM, on Twitter at Mainland FM. We are the sound of Lagos.
Open defecation in Nigeria perpetuates a cycle of poor health, environmental degradation, and undermines human dignity. With approximately 47 million people practicing open defecation nationwide, Nigeria ranks among the top countries globally with the highest number of individuals who lack access to proper sanitation facilities. The stats look grim. The overriding effect in itself can be terrible to our general well-being. In that light, we from Mainland 98.3 FM call on the government to increase its efforts in providing public toilets to end this scourge, and we also encourage the citizenry to imbibe proper hygiene and not defecate in public.
What about sunrise? What about rain? What about all the things that you said we were together?
Fantastic conversations. Great to see you again. It's good weather. You want to agree with that? Yeah, I love weather.
Trending music.
I live the life that I love. I love the life that I live. Tomorrow.
Traffic updates.
Ojoba and Chordy intersections is good. There's no cause for alarm.
Sports. And everything fun is right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. Don't touch that dial.
Glad to know that you're still pretty much with us. We welcome you once again to the Open Forum program right here on Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos. My name is Victor Achibong. Earlier on, I did say that Mobala Sandra had to sit this one out because she's a bit down the weather, and that is understandable. You know how it is. So we wish her speedy recovery. However, we are still on with the conversation. We just talked about APC kicking against the PDP call has been made by the Bauchi State Governor Bala Muhammad that he would jettison his own ambition to become president of Nigeria should Goodluck show interest in running for that position. Don't forget, this is specifically coming out from the northern part of the country, as well as some politicians asking that they want Goodluck Jonathan to return to the seat of power. Well, we get to see how that is going to pan out. People have different views. Otumba, who is here with me in the studio, has also given his own views, and he still wishes to say more. However, time is not on our hand. We're going to switch down into another conversation as we look at the story surrounding the Nigeria Labour Congress. Now, we all know that as it is right now, the comrade, the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, has been invited by the Nigerian police to come for questioning. There is an alleged financing terrorism and subversion, so many other criminal allegations that have been, placed on his head. that he needs to come and answer questions. And as it is right now, we've been getting feelers and reactions from everywhere. The counsel to the NLC, in the person of Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, has written back to the Nigerian police, telling them that he will not come because he had, engagements before the day that was given to him, 20th of August to be precise. And they had to shift the invitation date to 29. So in other words, they are giving the Nigerian police force their own date. Now, members of the NLC are out threatening a nationwide strike should the president be detained or arrested. They are not happy with the situation, and they have said that they are going to embark on a nationwide strike should anything like arrest or detain happen to the president. As we speak, the Union for Electricity, those in charge of power, have also said they will shut down the nation if anything happens to the president or to the president of the NLC. Otumba is here with me in the studio. Some persons are already saying that this is like a plot coming from a system affecting a union, so that the union will be decapitated, will be handicapped, will not have a say according to what they are viewed. Now, let's not forget that some days back there was a raid in the NLC secretariat in Abuja, and according to the story we also gathered, they are in search of a terrorist minder who was in charge of or actually carried out a terrorist attack in Sudan, and they wanted to find out what is happening. And that raid had to extend to the secretariat of the NLC, which the IGP of police himself, Egbetuku, confirmed it and said yes, they needed to carry out that. And that is making people to ask a lot of questions. And one of the questions that people have asked here now is, this is looking like a plot to stifle the activity of the union. However, there is a call for security in this country. We need to stay alert, which is what the police is trying to do. And they are asking questions. They've directed this question now, of which they have done by way of invitation to the president of the Nigeria Labour Congress, that he should come to give answers. But Otumba, in light of this situation, do you see this as a way of stifling the union, or it is a different ballgame entirely?
Thank you very much for that very thought-provoking question. Let the truth be told. Let us be very precise. Let's ask ourselves a question. Does Ajaero has immunity? The answer is no. The question now is this: how has he positioned himself? The IGP and the intelligence, they have a statutory responsibility to audit what is the security situation, carry out risk analysis, investigate, but there had to be a warrant of arrest. If you don't have immunity, everybody is susceptible to it. So I see it as, I won't see it from that perspective. In this country, we have allowed political innuendos to subvert the right cause. When somebody is doing the right cause, but not doing the way it should have done, because the positioning matter. Ajaero is not only the union leader we have. There's union leader TUC2 is there. Is that not so? Has there been anything of that? Let us compare apple for apple. Let us separate. Let's have a separate entity. There is a person of Ajaero in his own capacity. There's a person of the president of NLC. Is that not so? There is a labor right that is instituted. Is that not so? So if we want to judge Ajaero, let's judge him in light of the labor rights. If there's any contravention as it relates to labor rights, then we can shout. We can shout. But let us now talk. We are now talking of a terrorism financing. We know that terrorism financing has been one of the debacle that had caused the kind of upheaval within the security architecture. Why is nonsense actor being strengthened in such a way now that they are now killing state actors? Are you aware? 17 army were killed in Okolama. 5 of them were killed in Borno. Is that also? That is a non-state actor challenging the state actor. That is not good enough for our say internal security integrity. And we also know that there had been naming concerning the sponsors. Had anything been done? So if there is an invitation, not an arrest, there's a difference between invitation and arrest. Every move we read political we have a political shenanigan too. It is true. It is easier for people to talk about political dispensation about how Ajaero has positioned himself. But if we want to judge him, let's judge him in line with the labor law, with ILO regulation. But if there's some other antecedent that run ultra vires to that, and he has a question to answer, he does not have immunity. And come to think of, people who now say they will shut down. Look, you don't have a right. Even if you shut down the power, is out of terrorism.
That's where I was about taking the next question to now.
Okay.
Because yes, members of the NLC here, leadership of the Nigerian Labour Congress, has threatened to down tools nationwide in the event that the Nigeria police detains the president, Comrade Joe Ajaero. Now, let's not forget, you just said something right now, you know, with the recent 10-day protest on the End Bad Governance, which is the hashtag End Bad Governance that we have witnessed in this country, a whole lot happened. In fact, CPPE stated very clearly that Nigeria as a country will be losing 400 million naira daily as a result of non-activity of economic activities, productive activity, whichever way you want to look at it. And now the NSC, of course, we know that they play a pivotal role when it comes to building this nation productively, economically, because many of them are positioned in different offices, ministries, departments, and agencies, and even down to the sectors where a lot of persons may not even think that they're existing. They are actually existing. And in solidarity, according to what they are saying now to their president, is that they definitely will down tools. Your reaction to this, Otumba?
Pure and simple. In reaction to their president, I'm not asking them, because people have to have a right education and know their rights and know how to exercise their rights. The question I ask, does Ajaero has an immunity? The answer is no. Now, if they're asking question in line with audit of labor rights, it's different. But if they're asking question in line with terrorism financing and they have proven evidences, if the people saying they want to down tool, that's a shy play. They are not being purposeful. Because Ajaero as the president of MSC must move in line with the labor rights. Is that also as established in ILO? But if there's any other thing that is doing, unless they can foolproof what he's doing, that 24 hours they monitor what he's doing. And they also know Ajaero has no immunity. So if there's a need for people to engage in a discussion, not because of the political situation, not because of his stand as it relates to getting their right and privileges from the government, let us give benefits of doubt. Otherwise, are we trying to run another parallel government? And for people, let truth be told, for people who say they will shut the nation, that's treasonable felony. If you shut the cricket sector, it's a triple felony. So people should understand that it's not a shy play. People should understand that the government has a statutory right to conduct a due diligence. If per se they have evidences and they can interrogate, but in line with the labor law. If they judge him in line with the labor rights and he has not contravened anything as stated in ILO, they cannot detain him. But if there are obvious evidences that is related to some act of finance terrorism, or there's
the issue of cybercrime as well,
or if
and subversion.
If there's subversion, cybercrime activity, engaged in another thing that is outside the labor law, felony, that is outside the labor right. Remember, if somebody has a composite activity, you cannot say 24/7 you are doing labor. You also have a right to your life. What we're saying is, if the audit is in line with labor right, labor can down tool if it's following as established in the ILO, International Labour Organization. But if it is something that is different from ILO and it doesn't have a political connotation, political coloring, because anything can happen in Nigeria. In fact, in Nigeria, anything can happen in any situation. People people have politicized everything, and they tend to rope anything and everything until it is proven beside them. He has not been convicted. Has he been convicted? No. They say come for engagement.
Comrade Ado Sani, the Deputy President of the Nigeria Labour Congress, enjoined the nation's workforce to remain on standby for further directives should the police act contrary to their expectation of detaining Ajaero. In his words, and I quote, "As a committed labor center, we will honor the invitation of the police because we are not a faceless organization, but we are working with our lawyer for an extension of time. In the event that the president is arrested, all workers will down tools immediately. We should wait for further directives from our leaders." Showore has reacted to this particular story. The former Senate lawmaker in the person of Shehu Sani of Kaduna State has also reacted to this story. A lot of Nigerians are reacting to the stories. Now, listeners, what's your reaction to this particular story? It's 09136000410. What's your thoughts on this particular development? Hello, good afternoon.
Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, please, your name and where you're calling from.
Yeah, my name is Chris. I'm calling from Ojo.
Yeah, Chris, can you be lively a bit so I can feel your voice as well?
Yeah, can you hear me clearly?
This is much better. So you're Chris calling from where?
Ojo, Lagos.
Ojo, okay, fantastic. Go ahead.
Yeah, concerning the labor issue, see, let's be frank with ourselves. We all know what if police is inviting Ajaero for such a big severe issue as terrorism, sponsoring, and cybercrime. We know they should have gone to a certain point. This is not a matter of invitation. The severity of the accusation is so big that it couldn't just be on invitation. So I think the police should have their house in order. They should be clear on what they are inviting Ajaero for. Let it not be like the one of them. You don't know what they talk about and where they accuse him of a lot of things, and at the end of the day, it's all about trying to start with. For me, that's what I think it is. And if Otumba being there as well, know very well that you cannot say somebody that is accusing him of terrorism, sponsoring, and severe accusation of such, and you only give him an invitation. So let's be frank with ourselves. We all know what this leader, this APC government has been doing when they want to go against someone. For me, I think that's just a high service this thing, and they're trying to distract us from the main issue. Let's stop all this game playing and stuff like that. You are accusing a Labour president of such a big accusation of terrorism, cybercrime, and whatnot, and you're only telling him you are inviting him.
Thank you very much.
See, let's be frank.
Thank you.
I don't agree with that.
Thank you.
So,
all right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Hello. Is someone at home? Hello.
Hello.
Yes. Good afternoon.
Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yeah. Good afternoon.
Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Obi calling from Ikeja.
Shobi or Toby?
Obi.
Obi. All right, Obi. You're welcome. Your thoughts?
Yeah, my brother, I disagree with Otumba.
Your
You
thoughts?
see, in this country, we're all born in this country, and we're all in the Nigerian police has put in place in the way that because has widened so much. If you go to police station, you complain something about somebody, they will write petition, and they put attempted murder to make the case look serious, so that they can do what they want to do. These are their citizens we know in this country. If they look at Matawale has been accused of sponsoring terrorism, nobody has invited him. Nobody not say, you see, the laws are meant for two different laws for different. But that is why Nigerians are suspicious of all these things. Nobody is supporting Nigeria. It does not have the immunity. Actually, it doesn't have immunity. So going to what is happening in this country, the way we do things, different laws for this. That is why Nigerians are being skeptical about certain issues. So police should change their method of approach to work and the way they do their things. Because all these things, people know. Look at the former central bank of government. He was accused of terrorism crime. And Alpha, it was a lie. So this is when people look at all these things, they see that it's a lie. They're trying to use it to clamp them down. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Obi, for dropping your thoughts right there. Don't forget, you can also be a part of the conversation on 091 36000 410. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, sir.
Yes, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Sunday. I'm calling from Ikeja.
Sunday from Ikeja. Welcome to the house. Let's hear your thoughts.
Yes, my thought is that my greetings to Mr. Otumba. I listened to him, and he made a very painful conversation on regard to the NLC president on his arrest or questioning. You see, what I want to say is that what Otumba said is quite lawful, but unfortunately, in Nigeria, laws doesn't work. And the reason why I said law doesn't work is this. You intimidate those elites, they intimidate the citizens. And in Nigeria, when you have money, that is where your law works. And is there a country where law works? No. Law doesn't work. No. They can call him and interrogate him. Peacefully, that's good. But in our round, to get there, what they will use against him will be quite different. And the story will change. If not, it's very good that you can present yourself and without even gathering people to go on shutdown nationwide or your group. No, it's unlawful. But in regards to his arrest and all that, will the law work the way Otumba presented it? That is where the problem is. In Nigeria, everything goes. And that is the reason why the members are saying they will go on nationwide shutdown. That is how it is being done. In Nigeria, it's just shambles. Everything is programmed the way personality, who you are, who you will be, we treated you like that. That is how Nigeria is.
Thank you.
And that is where our problem still lies.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Hello. Hello, good afternoon. Are you there?
Hello, good afternoon, Victor.
All right. Please, your name and where you're calling from.
My name is Mr. James Soma, Good afternoon, Otumba.
Good afternoon.
You see, it's just like a child cried at the night and the next day we heard about the child's death. This is the same NLC which they are, one of their secretaries we had some time ago now, was invaded by DSS. Can we still remember during Buhari time when he took over and the DSS invaded some judges' houses at the middle of night and a kidnap? I will call it kidnap because that is not arrest. And ever since then, have anybody fought Mr. President then, President Buhari, for what he did? Did he do something right by going to someone's at night, breaking in and taking those judges away, which he can easily have invited them or arresting them normally? But up to today, we just believe in illegality. That is the only way we can make things legal. That is what happened in Nigeria. That's why in the case of Nigeria, people are, saying so many things and people are reading many meanings, which is quite obvious. So this issue of with APC, the people have known them. They are not about respecting law or obeying the rule of law. Like some time ago, I was even this morning asking if someone can educate us more on this issue of Dasuki being given $2.1 billion to purchase weapons, that we said that the money was cheated. Because Jonathan, why answering questions in United States of America a couple of years back said that money was actually used in purchasing weapons, but Nigeria was the one painting themselves black and bad before the eye of the world, that money actually was used. But I want to find out, is it true? Because people believe that money was cheated. Jonathan was even specifying that it was used to purchase warship, bought so many weapons he left in Buhari while living okay. So I want to find out as well.
Right,
thank you very much. Because APC they can use propaganda. They don't fear propaganda.
Thank you very much. All right. Hello, good afternoon. Let's quickly take this call now. Hello, good afternoon. Are you there? Okay, I think it's still... Okay, you're back. Yes.
Good afternoon.
Turn down the volume on your radio set, please.
Are you okay?
Yeah, we are fine. What's your name and where you're calling from?
I'm Pastor Badamosi from Surulere.
Pastor Badamosi.
I agree with Otumba. I agree with him in total. Because if he has been within the waters of the labor law or labor, then if anybody says anything, they should be tried on labor. But he's dabbling in politics. Politics is not easy. It can cost death. It can cost anything. He's been trying to prove that he can do something and ride on the labor, being the president of the labor union, to ride and become something in politics. I know he's in labor or labor struggle and things like that, but it's not automatic.
Oshomole was a labor leader, and he went into politics, and he did it in a way that he has gained the Senate member of the Senate now. If Ajero wants to do something like that, he should, swim in same waters. It's not going to be that this radicalism cannot go, because they would look, when you go into politics, anything can happen to you. That is the truth.
All right, thank you.
They can't be riding.
Thank you very much, Pastor Adamosi.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you. All right, let me read a comment here on Facebook. This one says here that it's coming from Patrick Obiazo. Patrick is saying your guest is seeing the Labour president invitation by the police from a studio angle, but the union is seeing it from their observed realities, and the members of the union are dearly not illiterate or informed or uninformed or informed enough not to understand what the game by government is all about. They have their own security reports, and indeed their feelers and information from within the government. He also went further to say, hold on, I'm going to bring it down now. Yes, an attack is usually the best form of defense. Otumba, I see you smiling. I'm pretty sure you want to react to this. Yes. Femi Falana, senior advocate of Nigeria, counsel to the Nigeria Labour Congress, has requested that they need to see the entire detail of everything that they've written, the letter, the accusations, the alleged terrorism finance documents. They want to carry out their own forensic analysis to be sure that everything is authentic. Now, one of our listeners here on Facebook said that they also have their own security intelligence, as it were.
Let's be frank. I'm not saying that it is wrong for them not to resist attack, but I'm saying now that let's look at the rights of the people. Police, they have a right to invite you for a discussion if they place something genuine. What Falana has posited is the right approach. That it is true you are inviting him for so. Remember, this person we are talking about was beaten in Imo State during the election. Is it not so? It was beaten because we were trying to dabble into political shenanigans. Let's have that on our left hand. Now let's fast forward. I'm not saying now that yes, we don't have problem with intelligence workers as regard to politicking, but I'm saying does that subvert the right cause of the police? They have a right to invite you for a discussion if you don't have immunity. Is that not so? That is my own view. I'm not saying they might not have motive. That's why I said politicizing. But the step we should take is that let us carry due diligence at every step.
All right.
With a view to understand the motive behind it, not assuming that it's going to do.
Good afternoon.
Hello.
Yes, good afternoon, please.
I greet all of you from Victor to Otumba, who remain in the studio.
Prince Wise, you're welcome.
Thank you very much.
My brother, how are you, sir? How are you, sir?
Your original Otumba.
Yes, sir.
May God bless you.
Amen, sir.
You see, number one, I want to talk about former President Jonathan and their people.
Right on.
Former President Jonathan is enjoying today because he do one thing that makes Nigeria to love him very dearly. That are getting defeat. It's in 1950 when we were about Pᴏʟɪᴛᴏ and this thing. Majority of Nigeria police don't take defeat. Even though cancel the letter, they have to go to a court, to appeal court, to Supreme Court, and they were allowed. But that thing, but if somebody not that this man back, they come and contest. How many presidents want to make? The guy can never suffer. His children can never suffer. If the representative will sit in there. But the moment he I want to come back, they will not remind him what he was supposed to do when he was in power. But then, all these expectations we are talking about, statements we are talking about, they will reduce him to common politicians. So for me, article that you accuse the present government, I love him very dearly. The opposition must put the ruling part on their toes. The thing we have go this point before. If you want to talk, you have to say we. Don't say them. We contributed to where we are today. Starting from Baba Sanjo, The time we are making money in this country. I think my words, the book written by Papa Pasajo, against Atiku, if Atiku never go to court to go and drag Baba to that, to drag the nobody, the majority of us may not trust him.
All right,
so
thank
for
you.
me, as it is now, it is better for Jonathan to remain a safe man, and it's better for Atiku when he wants to accuse the president to say we, because during their time, no electricity, their time, no roof.
Thank you. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon, Victor. How are you?
Very well, thank you, please.
Okay, my good afternoon. This is Malam Salau.
Good afternoon,
I'm calling from Amasaka.
All right, Malam Salau. You're welcome.
Victor, you see, politics is a very dirty game. Are you with me? Politics is very dirty game. So whoever prepared to be in politics, you have to prepare at the same time to face anything at all. Let us ask ourselves today, is Labour Party, is a Labour, is it a union and workers union, or rather a political party? It's both. As we speak today, Labour is a political party and it's opposition party. All over the world, I stand to be corrected. Anywhere in the world, opposition party always find it very, very rough. Even in America that we are talking about, that we are copying our party democrats, that we copy from them. Anywhere, if you are in opposition, you can't find it easy. More especially if you compromise the integrity. This Ajaero, the same Ajaero that was beaten mercilessly in Imo. The only thing we saw is that he followed the delegate to buy. You understand? Nothing came out of it. During the same Ajaero, whole Nigeria hosted that to the minimum wage of 25,000, 250,000. Anything less than that, no. 1 million started with 1 million. Are we in 1 million today? No. So you can't do all this kind of shenanigans to go free. Be that as it may, I'm not in support of police to go there around 8 p.m. to start. No, I don't. But remember, when the issue of this protest started, Bayo Nanuga or something, sorry if I didn't pronounce the name very well, they accused Peter Obi that Peter Obi is the sponsor of that. And Peter Obi is threatening that if he didn't retrieve his 8 million, he will sue him. Bayo said, I'm waiting for you over there. His Peter Obi went to court today as I'm talking to you today. He's still in court to challenge that allegation against him. So let us be very, very frank. If Ajaero as a president of Labour Union, if he's not guilty, if he's innocent, let him honor the invitation of police. Let him go there. If he's innocent, then he has one of the vibrant lawyers in Nigeria today, let him to take police to court and demand apology from police. That is it. All right. But all this emotion, whatever, I don't accept you.
All right.
Let him go and clarify. Nobody is above the law now.
Thank
Not
you.
that you can threaten Nigeria that if you didn't go, you can go and shut down Nigeria. Shut for who now?
Thank you. Thank you, Malam Salau. Thank you. All right, so we need to go on a very, very quick break right now. When we return from that break, we'll move into another conversation. This time around, let's talk about the presidential jet. Nigerians, president has a new jet right now, and the worth of that jet is 150 billion naira. And that is because we know they've been a call for the president to enjoy, some level of, luxury, good life, safety, and all of that. But from one hand, it is as if the story is twisted. The Senate is saying that they never got any calls, they never had anything as regards that. Another set of persons said that, okay, it was an old aeroplane and it doesn't even belong to a certain person. It belonged to a particular person from Arab and all of that. Different stories around that. But then Nigerians are asking questions. We are hungry, we are starving, but the president seems to be having more and more. Don't go nowhere. It's open forum. We're going to be having more conversation. This is Mainland 98.3 FM.
Oga Police, no worry, I see you. You know you can do the right thing, right? You know you can do without that bribe. You know you don't even have to harass that young man because he is properly dressed. And you think he's a Yahoo boy? You don't even have to assault that citizen whom you have sworn an oath to protect. Yes, We understand that the pay is not good enough to take you home, that you are still wearing a uniform that you bought with your own money 5 years ago. It's no news that the government has not done enough by you. We feel your pain and we wish things could be different as we continue to call on government to wake up to their responsibilities. We want the police to be our friends, just as it is boldly stated across the various police stations nationwide. And from mainland 98.3 FM, we implore you to do better. We love you and we support you always.
When the airwaves in your market become more and more crowded, it's time to break it open and really stand out. It's here.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
Clock the time. Rock the groove. It's music extravaganza, where the beat gets hotter. Mainland 98.3.
Yo, what's up? Baby, let's go!
The sound of Lagos.
Alright, it's good to know you are still pretty much there with us so that we are always talking together. It is Open Forum right here on Mainland 98.3 FM. My name is Victor Achibong. Otumba Kenny is here with me, and together we're looking at some of the stories that actually made the round during the week. Don't forget, I also said that on the Open Forum program, you can also talk about any story, any news at all of interest to you. Okay, it doesn't necessarily have to be on this particular one that we are discussing. And also, we're streaming live on Facebook, so do well to drop your comments there as well. There are different channels where you can communicate with us, and we'll do well to read them out if your messages drop on Facebook platform. Same goes to WhatsApp and text messages. If it is on WhatsApp and text, you want to drop your comment or your contribution, do that on this number 091 36430. I'll take that again, 091 360 430. If you didn't get that, get it now, 091 360 430. All right, now going straight into the next conversation, we already gave you an idea of it, and that is talking about the president in the person of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, new private jets. And as we speak today, that particular story of the jets has raised so much dust. It has sparked a lot of dust in the house. Now let's take a listen to Obi Ezekwesili, who happens to be a Nigerian chartered accountant, economist, and also a politician. She said something as regards that particular jets. So I need you to listen. And Nigerians, don't go nowhere, okay? This is Open Forum.
Absolutely upset that these fellows would dare to play with the intelligence of the Nigerian public. Between the executive, the president, the presidency, the National Assembly, I think they are decided that they are the bandits. They are the bandits. All of them. The political class has decided that they are the bandits against the people of Nigeria. Because I do not see how it is feasible that the topmost priority of a government that has this level of biting hunger in the land, this level of poverty, where its people are dropping into poverty per minute, would consider the purchase of a befitting aircraft for the president, the construction of a 20 billion naira home for the vice president, the purchase of all kinds of funny-looking cars, and the fleet of the National Assembly members and the executive. What exactly is that? And I speak with a lot of moral authority. I served this country. They want everything about what I earned. They can find it in their folder. As a minister, they have something called Minister's Impress or something vote. My PAMSEC, Abokizawa, will tell you until tomorrow that I did not touch a dime. So when people say...
When the airwaves in your market become more and more crowded, it's time to break it open and really stand out. It's here.
Mainland 98.3 FM, the sound of Lagos.
And by the way, that was the voice of Obi Ezekwesili reacting to the purchase of the presidential jets for President Bola Tinubu. And President Bola Tinubu, by the way, has embarked on his 4th trip to France. He departed the Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport in Abuja at about 4:08 p.m. on Monday. The president is traveling in style aboard the newly acquired Airbus A330 presidential jet, which arrived in Abuja on Sunday evening. The modified jet, valued at $100 million, which is about 150, no more than 150 billion naira. $100 billion, more than 150 billion naira. Features a bedroom, office space, conference and dining room, making it the perfect vessel for presidential travel. This marks the maiden trip for the aircraft, not the president, for the aircraft, which was recently released by a Chinese firm. Remember that story, isn't it? Of a Zhongchen Fengchen Industrial Investment Company Limited after a dispute with the Ogun State government. And by the way, that dispute is still pretty much on, because we also heard that they've already confiscated 2 buildings belonging to the Federal Republic of Nigeria in UK, and they are looking for more assets belonging to this country so that they can get what? Their money. Over $70 million, as it were. Now, the presidency has not disclosed the purpose of the duration of President Tinubu's visit to France, but it is believed to be a brief working stay. The trip comes just this week before President Tinubu's scheduled participation at the Forum on China-Africa Cooperation in Beijing, China. Now, so many reactions coming from every angle. Prominent Nigerians are talking. Even the ordinary Nigerians are also complaining. Otumba, as we speak right now, there is a bulletproof Escalade. A vehicle that is, well, I don't even know how much it's worth right now, but that is
over $900 million.
Thank you very much. Now, also, as we speak, there are yachts. Expensive yachts, exotic yachts. We also have the 21 billion naira that was also put aside for the vice president's building. Completed. Fantastic. And Nigerians are saying we are hungry. Let's not forget, Otumba, there was a story before the release of this airplane. It was seized in France. It was seized and it was later released for the president. 2 are still, is it under house arrest now? What should I call it? But still seized.
Yes.
Under lien. Thank you very much. And this was released. And immediately it landed this country. The president embarked on the journey. But Otumba, when you look at the cries of Nigeria, when you look at the yearnings of Nigeria, when you look at the request of Nigerians are asking for better governance. Nigerians are asking for food. Nigerians are asking for a good economy. Nigerians are asking for adequate power supply. A lot of welders are out there. They are not able to go into the welding shop. Electrician cannot do anything as regards electronic work and all of that. And even the ordinary man that runs a viewing center in the streets cannot even power any of his equipment because of lack of power, and money to get fuel to power his generator is not even there. But we already know that sometimes it was being said that Nigerians spent 20 million naira worth of money just self-powering, themselves, whether by generator or whatsoever. But now we have a presidential jet that is worth 100 billion, 150 billion naira, and so many other exotic, items that you can mention. In the midst of all of these requests from Nigerians and the hunger that Nigerians are currently going on, how bad of a timing is this particular presidential jet that is worth 150 billion? Let's not also forget that coming from the Senate president as well as Senator Michael Okpeyemi Bamidele, they all said that they have not had any sort of request as regards that. Now, there's a particular Abdulaziz, when he was featured on BBC House, he said that money was taken from a special account, not from the budget, for issues of this nature. But we have Nigerians who are hungry. Otumba, let me hear from you.
Thank you very much. Emphatically, the president said, going into presidency is my life ambition. That is a loaded statement. And that is a statement that shows clearly that the ambition is more important than the interest of the common man, explicitly. So, the priority is to finance the ambition, which we are doing. And also the fact that the box stopped on my table. Those are the two words that were spoken. That shows that end to end stop on my table and the executive. And also the fact that we have been experiencing a round robin effect and holy alliance, what do you call it, across the 3 tiers. So that shows now that everything is moving in a cyclical cycle. You only pinch one, the rest will adjust. That is what we're going through. I am not against the president sorting for a new airborne jet. But how? There is a right for safety. There's a right for the request for a new jet if the other one were found wanting. President has the right. But there must be accountability for the way, because it's not his personal money, it's taxpayers' money we're talking about. So the right of probity and accountability, it is what is lacking, and transparency. And that is very explicit. We all know that the premise which this government was going on is solely on profligacy. 50, look at the budget structure. Look at the expenses that had happened. 90 billion for Hajj, to sponsor Hajj. 21 billion to complete the house of VP. 160 million for the SUV. 21 million for the senator. The same thing goes for the House of Rep. So what we're saying now clearly, in clear terms, is that this administration pride financing the personal ambition over because we only hear the promise of Nigeria future prosperity. If that Nigeria is pregnant, but when somebody is pregnant through pain, that it will deliver through pain. But the question we're asking, if somebody is pregnant and is going through kwashoko, no food to eat, no good health service, would the pregnancy be aborted? Would the nation not go through? Clearly a day, and yet 100%. Is that not fine? It's like the entire finance is going from my understanding. Food reserve, there's nothing in the food reserve. Telling you now with a lot of authority. No, we said we have a revenue base. It is true with China.
Is everything they actually do to give Nigerians a good life.
Have we experienced when the
Pᴏ on your radio set. Great.
Like you are the aircraft. Why? I just want to do. I know that you have time. Hello?
No, you don't have. You don't have the time. You don't have the time.
I don't have the time. Okay, sorry. I would have go far.
Thank you. Hello.
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. Your name and where you're calling from?
This is Madam Ifi.
Madam Ifi, you're welcome.
Good afternoon, sir. Good afternoon, ma'am. Well, the last thing you said there, why is it that I remember that when Buhari was coming in, he said they have 8 or 9 aircraft. What is it going to do with it? I don't have anything to do. I can be entering what we call it commercial vehicle to wherever I'm going. Where are the 9 aircraft? Why don't they sell it? Sell all those 9 aircraft as scrap now and add money and buy one brand new aircraft. Then we know our president's life is safe in the air. Yeah, you now want to buy, you let all this thing, Chinese people are commanding everything outside the country. Anywhere they say a property, they pick it, they see aircraft, they pick it. Why don't they use that money, to, to buy a brand new one? Then we know we have one single one as aircraft. And as for Jonathan, if Jonathan respects himself, he should not come back to that seat. They want to use a bamboo deal so that he will come and do 4 years after they will say he will go to North for 8 years again. Sit down. When you have time to fight for your seat, you refuse it. You quickly drop the burning iron and walk away. Even before the result came, you have already started congratulating the other person. You think you were doing out. At the end of the day,